Hey guys and gals of YouTube, how y'all doing? Dave Boyd here on the David-Laurie-Life channel. And there's been a horrible snowstorm here. I was stranded in Anchorage. Didn't go to work for a couple of days. I mean, I had to go in, but sent home, And of course, home for me was crashed out in Anchorage because I was stuck there because of the roads. The conditions are just horrendous. So we got some little beard still growing here. Anyways, looking around for some old stuff. Old revolver. I'm still talking to a guy, not old. It's from the 80s. Not as exciting as stuff can be, but still Model 10. It's still kind of fun. But I had mentioned in an earlier video that there was a custom Glock, semi-custom Glock out there. And I was talking to them about it a little bit. Anyways, it's, well, here it is. I did take it out firing today. It does shoot beautifully. I think the person was probably very disappointed what the gun shop probably gave them for it, because considering what I got it for, it doesn't, I mean, generally the stippling, I believe they charge 140 unless you do it yourself, and maybe he did it himself. It's fine. It's a little aggressive for me, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that here in a minute. It is easy to recognize as a Gen 3 because you got this lump, and of course the finger grooves here have probably been removed by whoever did the stippling. Anyways, we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and clear the weapon first. Now, if you are familiar with the Glock system, the safe action system, for the trigger to be fully to the rear would indicate an empty chamber, or at least a fired chamber. If there's a failure to extract, there might be an empty casing in here. There could also be a misfire round if this ever happens at the range. This is not the case here, but just so you know, I have had one misfire. It was a reloaded round, and I counted 10, and at count 8, it fired. I had cleared the magazine by then, kept the barrel downrange the whole time. Okay, let's go ahead and drop the magazine out. These are 17 rounders. I don't know what these chop marks are, just abuse to the magazine, or maybe intentionally put there. I have no idea. That's previous owner stuff. 17 round mag with extension, allowing it to be loaded to 22 rounds, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and check the sight out real quick. Of course, no mag. And there's a better view of the chamber. Still don't like to be barreled, have a muzzle pointed at me. I don't think anyone does. Okay. The gun appears to have all stock parts, including the plastic or polymer guide rod. Let's talk about the slide. It's by Hardened Arms. It does have this kind of cool distressed American flag here. Kind of wish they made a window out of it, like a Glock 34s. But they didn't. But this does lighten it up. And does have the serrations for clocking here too. I prefer still to use traditional back here, but that's just me. It's been stippled, and I know one guy here locally that does the stippling and like grinding the frames here. This does allow a much up close grip. It could be a problem if, depending on how your grip is, the web of your hand could get caught under the beaver tail. It's not a problem for me because I've got small hands, but the guy at the local gun shop, he literally cannot shoot Glocks without cutting his hands unless he puts the like Gen 4 and beaver tails. As you can see, this is all stock. What I might do on this channel is maybe we'll go ahead and add some parts to it because I don't want to carry this guy. The trigger feels a little bit light in here. And the stippling is, to me, uncomfortable. But if you see what I'm talking about, okay, I grab it here. This allows my finger to go up further than it normally would. And I guess I could do a two-handed hold or do the old 1980s look here, which I've never gotten into that, but they did talk about that when I was in training. Anyways, let's let the slide go forward. Nose, triggers forward. Empty, triggers forward. Safe direction, and there is actually a bullet catch there. It's a very crisp trigger. As you know, this trigger is now fully rearward. They stayed with the plastic here. I have had some issues with the metal ones. Never had one slide out of me, ever. Never had that, but I did have, we'll just say a operation change. We'll just say it like that way. It became inconsistent, shall we say. Anyways, so it appears to me to all be what they've done is I believe they've chamfered this out. This seems a little bit thinner now. And the magwell does seem larger. They make those additional ones. I think I might put a JP1 or I call them butt plugs in here, just because, just to finish the hole. My standard thing might be to change the slide release to an extended one. I may do a metal or a stainless steel guide rod. Not much else really to do here, but it feels really good. It's very comfortable. This does actually help my hold. I don't say it's for everyone, and obviously it would void your warranty. Let's take it down. I don't see anything other than stock here. I'm not that I don't have another Gen 3 to compare this to, but it does all look stock. And the serial number here, see, this is stock too. The serial number does match that of the barrel. So I'm saying this is probably a standard Glock barrel, probably from the original gun. The only thing they really changed here is they did the stippling and they put this slide on there. And being that this is standard Glock and the sights, I'm imagining, since this is Tenefer coated, this is probably from the original Glock also. Maybe even the sights are, and they are that metal post. This is Gen 3 stuff. But there has been some, I don't know if you can see in there. Yeah, see that, see the reflection. It has had some rounds through it, considerable amount. And if it has been on a holster, there wouldn't be any wear. They make a nice selection of aftermarket slides. I just didn't really want to, I'm not really into that. It just wasn't really my thing. But since this gun came this way, my neighbor says run, but that's his opinion. I'm okay with doing changes to it. Anyways, I'll give you guys honest opinions out there, thoughts. Really appreciate this community. I might do, like I said, just make this more of a range gun. It may eventually just become trading fodder for at a gun show, or maybe at the local, go back to the local gun shop. And as a price was like $300 with extra mags and some accessories. So there we are. I think it was a great deal for me. Probably not a great deal for him, but because, like I said, if they sold it to me for that, what do you think they paid for it? Just saying, Anyways, I'm yapping way too long here. I got other things going on, and I'm sure you guys, if you're still here, if you haven't clicked off yet, then there it is. Give me a thought on us down below what you think. I really appreciate the views and the great support out here. Y'all take care. Ciao.